Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate Uncut and After Show. I'm your host Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, how dare you, then be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you'd like to support the channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they premiere, and there's also a PayPal, Patreon and crypto link in the info box below the video. Speaking of Patreon, I'm going to do a massive shout out to all of you who do support me on Patreon. So a massive shout out to Abraham Mohammed, Adrian Quintala, Alistair Main, Billy Highvault, Burn Fat Till My Stomach Is As Flat As the Earth, Chow Young Cat, Dank, Dave Rakia Gafford, David Wayne Foster, Edwin Johnson, Erwin Jennisons, Felix Hung, Fireball X, God Rockin, Henrik86, Jaronism, Joshua Malsimo, Kirsten Smith, Liam Nedrick, Life is Short, Matt, Missouri Bear, Nagara, Naibai, Qatar Craig, Reinhardt, Renee, Sally Ballis, Silver Umbrella, Skeptic936, Texas Mike, The Flat Earth Sun, Moon and Zodiac Clock App, theflatearthchannel.com, Tina Baker, and Tom Herkins. So a massive shout out of appreciation to all of you for supporting me on Patreon. Now we are actually in the in-between stages between two live debates, so I'm actually going to raise the mic on both Discord and G+, and you can enjoy the dulcet tones of whoever the hell is in there while I set up for the first live show.
Doesn't change reproduction. Paul, you and your wife are going to have a baby here soon. Doesn't change sunrise and sunset. Doesn't change anything. We are living in a world with order. It's not chaotic. And we have creation and we have a creator. What does it change?
What is the necessary, or what does it change about the creator or having a creator?
No, this argument whether the double slit is true or not and the wave function collapse, what does that change? How does that change anything from the reality we all live in?
It's just more questions, I guess.
Okay, but let's just say for argument's sake, Arwen has a point and he's right. Doesn't change anything. Sun's going to rise tomorrow and set, and people are going to have babies, and people are going to live. But... Okay, and then let's say, right? It's not going to change anything.
You cut out there for a sec at one point.
I'm saying standing on either side of this argument.
Elijah F. This is just, I'm sorry, 10th. Elijah F. I've just reviewed your comments in Discord. Don't come back here. Okay?
Oh, what's happened?
Max.
What's the problem?
Clown, coward, a few other ones. Coward, always, yeah, don't come back here.
Just ad homing the crap out of you. Oh, well, that was a bit of a mood killer.
Hey, John. Well, I asked John a question. I posted a video from Inspiring Philosophy that I thought he did a good job explaining what the quantum eraser double slit experiment showed, because he talks about the path information. And of course, there's a glober in the panel saying live stream that it's not that. It's not the knowing of path information that's causing the collapse. So, have you seen that video, John? Do you know what I'm talking about Inspiring Philosophy?
Yes, I know it. Yep.
Is it a good explanation or no?
Yes.
Okay. Well, Z5 or whatever his name is saying that it's not the knowledge or it's not the mind that causing the collapse. So I don't know. So
well, that's wonderful. Another okay, can you show it?
Sorry,
right, exactly.
Sorry.
I don't think he's listening.
Sorry, Paul. Just for my clarity, are you saying that this person is claiming that the independent variable isn't the independent variable?
Yes.
I don't know what he's saying. He's saying, yeah, I guess he's saying the mind is not what causes the collapse of the knowing. It's something else. It's the measurement or the interaction of the observer on it is what's causing the collapse.
Okay.
Well, there are no observers on it, and I already went through all this in the quantum mechanics presentation, so just pull that up.
Let me just
It'll
clarify.
explain
The independent variable is knowledge of the which path, i.e., knowing which path it took. That's the independent variable. In other words, you fire your light through 2 slits and you get your interference pattern. But when you put a slit detector, you know which path it went through and you get your 2 clumps. So knowing which path it went through caused the wave function, your diffraction pattern, to collapse. That is the summary of the experiment. The cause and effect established with independent and dependent variables. Anyway.
I know. I mean, it's they have to run from non-materialism. They have to run from it, because as soon as you come to the terms that there's that there's something immaterial, they're done, and they can't go there. They won't go there.
But is that connected?
It has to be something physical.
But is that connected? I mean, doesn't that go without saying? Just based on what information and knowledge is to begin with, it's supernatural by definition.
Right, exactly. Information is supernatural.
Right, should we crack on with the next live show?
I have to brush the cat and feed my teeth.
Well, we'll do it anyway.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate Live. I'm your host Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you'd like to support the channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they are live, and there's also a PayPal, Patreon and crypto link in the info box below the video. Most importantly, if you'd like to join the discussion, simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box below this video to join the panel and express your views on the nature of Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcomed back on the next stream. Please also share the show on social media. Sharing the show obviously increases the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel. So please share the show on Facebook and Twitter. And one last time, if you're new to the channel or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. Now, we are joined in G+ by 10th Man, Paul Hall, Chocolate Sane, Arwin, The One, who else did I miss? Ranty Flat Earth. Did I get everybody in G+? Yeah, Nathan, so. Yeah. We're also joined by a whole bunch of people in Discord. Welcome, one and all. Hello, Nathan. Yeah, good to have you all. So enthusiastic.
Hooray!
Bit of housekeeping, we'll sort that out. Right. Fundies at the ready. You all ready?
Yay, Nathan!
Yay! Any signs of Earth curvature?
No,
Not from Lakewood.
Not from Lakewood?
Nope.
Where's Lakewood?
Next to Long Beach, Southern California.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Earth curve? The whole premise of this debate is about Earth being curved. Anybody? Anybody at all?
No, Earth's not curved. I'm sorry. It's flat.
Searching to see if there's like people not on server mute. Oh, there we go. There's one. Who is that? Is it runs with scissors? Earth curve? Any signs of it? Anybody? Anybody at all? No? Any signs of axial rotation of the Earth-based variety?
Well, there is no reason to presuppose that you're on something that is spinning.
That's correct. Good answer. I'll move on. Any scientific evidence of gravity?
Why do we have to call relative density gravity?
They don't. They call relative density disequilibrium gravity. They don't
Yeah.
just say there's relative density, the mic is in equilibrium. They pick up the mic, force it out of equilibrium, drop it, and then attribute that to this downward Fundy force called gravity, which there is no scientific evidence for. So it's the disequilibrium that they attribute this downward force to. You got something to add, Mel?
Hi, Nathan. Good on you, mate.
Good day. Any single viable hypothesis in the entire histories of astronomy, astrophysics, or cosmology?
Well, note by Daniel Faulkner, PhD astronomer, who claimed that he can refute any flat Earth claim and said to people to not look at YouTube videos for information. And when he was asked about how do you have gas pressure without a container, he pointed to a YouTube video of a redneck retard called Two Billy Blue Balls, who is using two containers to demonstrate gas pressure without a container.
Yes, very foolish to declare that people who assert they can't debunk flat Earth claims just simply haven't gone to the right sources. They've just gone to the internet, only to, as you rightly point out, the one Google search it and cite a redneck retard. Shout out to Alexander, who says Heliocentrism is the biggest religion on flat Earth. Couldn't agree more. Totally and utterly faith-based is heliocentrism. We do not live on a model. Any evidence of the distance to the sun?
We don't know what the sun is. Either we need distance to it so we can figure out its size, or either we'll need its size to figure out the distance, but we don't know any of those.
Any evidence of a self-perpetuating molten iron core at the centre of a presupposed spherical Earth?
And then when they entered through the wardrobe and they saw Aslan with this molten iron core in his hand.
That's more akin to any evidence of gas pressure without a container.
Yeah.
Is there any evidence that you can have gas pressure without the necessary antecedent of a container to press upon?
Well, we've all seen what happens when the container is broken. All the words out of Rumpus's mouth start, exploding. So we need a container for that gas.
Right.
Shout out to Rumpus. Mr. Air is not the atmosphere.
Atmo, air, sphere, Fundy presupposition. Last but by no means least, any evidence of the presupposition itself? The R value, Earth radius. No?
The only thing we can do about the R value is to have a moment of silence for it.
Oh, I can do one better than that. I'll do a little blessing. Radius Dominus, Gravitas Spiritus Sanctus, may the not actual force of gravity be with you. Go in peace, in R you trust. Win.
We are winning.
We are winning. We are winning with that prayer.
Arwen is ace.
He is ace, but it seemed something that Arwin brought up in the last show ended up with Elijah getting caught in the crossfire and getting triggered, ad homing QE, and then being told to piss off.
Yeah, no need to add home QE. QE is ace as well.
So-
We may not agree, but QE is still ace.
Yeah, Arwin is ace, but still, Arwin being ace has caused somebody else to get caught in the crossfire. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not going to say it's not his own fault if he's been calling QE a clown in the comments section. But there we go. It's just one of those. He was on Arwin's coattails in regards to not observing wave function collapse. Personally observing, I should say. Not that it doesn't exist, but the personal observation of wave function collapse was something that Alwyn brought up, and that guy was explaining that the people who had suggested someone go out and produce a video of it, has anybody actually gone out and followed their instructions? And the response from QE, I'm really there. The response from QE is to contact your local university and ask them if they're performing that experiment, and if they are, can you go and observe wave function collapse? We also got into there is a potential that you could go out to Woolworths and buy yourself some slit detectors, and yeah, Bob's your uncle, you can do it yourself.
And I think a few people didn't understood that we're not talking about the delayed choice, but the actual double slit with the detectors. So they got a bit confused between those two.
Yeah, we're not suggesting people insert this causally disconnected choice. that's beyond a lot of universities' capabilities, I would imagine, or expensive at the least.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Anon, good to have you.
Hello, boys.
I think that's it for housekeeping.
Trigger warning. Trigger warning.
Oh, you sounded like an actual alarm.
You got any results from your Triggered Earther of the Year award, Ranty?
Bloody hell. Yes, it did.
Bloody hell, it was close call. Oh dear. I asked him because
Why
I
is
thought
everyone so silent?
I heard him come off mute. Did I imagine that?
That was me.
No, I wasn't pretending for 1 second your impression was anything like Ranty. I thought I genuinely heard him come off mute.
Oh, I thought.
Credit was not due there, but you take it if you want it.
So 1.2 out of 10 still?
Yeah, still definitely closer to Australian, which I slipped into after. Because that's how powerful the Australian was in your impression.
So, are you saying 1.2 out of 10 still?
Yeah, definitely. You got bloody hell in there, though. That's deserving of another point, so 2.5.
Thank you.
Any other? Oh dear. Bloody hell. What else has Ranty got as catchphrases? Right, no one's biting. Right, let's think. Right, people in the G Plus panel, let's think of ways of triggering the fundies.
Let's talk about their edge a little bit more. That seemed to bring them out a little bit the other day. The edge they reify. The one they keep asking us about. When we don't have an edge, but apparently they do in their model. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one. I've had a few comments saying, no, by your logical inference, you've got to have an edge of the dome, just like Highlander said. It's like, yeah, just like Highlander said. I love those commenters. Shout out to all those people leaving those comments thinking they're being clever. You infer there's an edge, there must be. Yeah, well done, Fundy. Share your pain.
Hey, Gobi, come and show us your space-time bending. Show me how many time you have in a cubic meter of space. Or how big is a cubic hour, maybe.
Cubic hour? About that big.
Brenda Rumpus.
Also, please come and show us how the quote unquote force of down affects a helium balloon.
Actually charged by the cubic hour.
Cubic hour.
Well played.
Didn't work. Right, let's try something else.
Take them off mute one by one.
They're just checked. They're all off mute. Everyone's off mute.
Start spouting bullshit, you retards.
That's not going to work. You've got to be gentle with them. You've got to coax them.
Here, kitty, kitty.
Yeah, funny.
So, Earth curve's just perspective. They've just removed perspective by using the feet and inches or meters value of an object they're observing in the distance. And by using feet and inches or meters, it means that that object's size doesn't change as it increases its distance. It will always be a 10-foot wall, regardless of if it's a million miles away, way beyond the angular resolution of any telescope, or a foot away. It's still just going to be classified in their side-on reification of their globe Earth model as an object that doesn't change in angular size as it gets further away. And in reality, anything you see in the distance will get smaller as it gets further away. That's called angular size, a not actual representation of its actual size, because it isn't. It is dependent on its distance. Now, if you ignore... Oh, God, is that someone triggered? Has it worked? Who's that? Go ahead.
No, that was my cat.
Oh, it's just a cat. False alarm. So as things get smaller in the distance, they claim this not actual location, called the edge of their sphere reification, obscures that whole size number boat or building, as they simultaneously ignore the fact that it's getting smaller with distance as it reaches and breaches the diffraction limit, the horizon. So, given that they've just excluded all aspects of perspective, it does make me wonder why anyone would ever believe these fundies who tell them boats are going over an edge. Like, take us to your edge, fundies. Your edge that excludes all aspects of perspective. You know, you're going to have trouble telling me why you're not getting there. Oh, what's that? It moves with perspective. Oh, yeah. That's interesting. Why isn't that factored into your maths with things that don't change with their distance? Oh, it's because you've just taken the effect of perspective and called it Earth curve, have you? That's fascinating. Yeah, perspective's real. Earth curve isn't. Nice that it slips into your model the way it does, by hijacking perspective. Still no takers?
Well, thank God I had a good arts teacher back in school, because she taught us everything about perspective. That's why I didn't have any problems coming to Flat Earth 5 years ago.
It's funny though, because there are a couple of times I've heard ballers say that perspective is something that flat earthers made up. Like it's not a real thing.
What?
Yeah, bro.
5th and 7th grade.
I've actually heard that, yes.
And 7th grade.
Is it Jesse Kozowski that's the geodetic surveyor?
Yeah.
Jesse Kozowski once did a video that was showing his measurement of another lantern or whatever they call them across a shore, about a couple of 100 feet. And as he gets further away from it, it drops towards the horizon. And that's basically his point. He's talking about horizon drop. Anyway, Jeranism gets hold of the video and re-edits it. And then as he's giving his description and saying, look, I've got further away, it's got closer to the horizon, that's caused by cut to Jeran going, perspective! It's quite, I remember it really distinctly. It was very comical.
Yeah, that Jesse Kozlowski, he's a real clown, man. I exposed him long time ago. I don't think he was out here more than a couple weeks when I caught him under one of his videos. It was really bad for him.
Oh, you exposed a geodetic surveyor. Good job, Quantum Racer.
Yeah, like I exposed you fundy materialist.
How did you feel JLB got on? Hold on. How do you think JLB got on with your argument there, Tim?
Not my argument. That's just visual, empirical evidence of the Earth being...
Visual empirical evidence. This cloud still thinks counterclockwise. He's just like JLB. He thinks counterclockwise and clockwise are directions, don't you, Timmy?
So if you're looking south in the southern hemisphere, the stars are going to rotate as far as looking due south clockwise. And then when you're in the northern hemisphere, looking at the stars as far as Polaris and the stars around it, it's actually going to go counterclockwise. Do you disagree with that?
Are they
I heard you say
directions?
look. So it appears to do that then. Just when you look at it, they're not actually moving in
No.
different directions.
Hold
then,
on,
right,
Chocolate.
Timmy?
Is counterclockwise and clockwise directions?
Do these stars, that was the question. If you listen carefully, Quantum,
Directions.
if you can,
Are they directions?
If you can very quickly actually listen to the question. Do they actually?
I'm asking you a question. Or is
I'm asking
counterclockwise and clockwise directions?
I didn't say that. I said, do the stars actually do that?
They all they all move, save for Polaris clown show, from east to west.
Joker, dude.
Those
You can
are
laugh on me.
directions, not counterclockwise and clockwise. Those
They
are
don't
based
do that.
on your position.
They don't do that. They don't rotate counterclockwise or clockwise, depending on
Yeah,
how
they
you're.
do.
Oh, okay, thanks. Thank you so much.
What? It doesn't prove anything because they're not directions, you friggin' moron.
Timmy, depending on how you're looking at them. I heard you about to say that, right? Depending on what?
He's already given it in his qualification. He said when
If you're
looking south
in
and
the
when looking
northern
north.
hemisphere. If you're in the northern hemisphere, and you're looking due north, you're going to see the Polaris and all the circumpolar stars around it going counterclockwise. If you're in the southern hemisphere and you're looking at Sigma
You're just repeating the same thing again. Are they moving in different directions?
Because it's true.
Are they moving in different directions? South versus north, Timmy.
Are they moving counterclockwise or clockwise?
Are they moving in different directions?
Can you answer a question or no?
Are they? I'm asking you a question, Timmy Clown. Are they moving in different directions?
Does the Polaris rise
Are
in the...
they moving in different directions?
Are they appearing to go counterclockwise and
Not
clockwise?
appearing. Are the stars south versus north moving in different directions? Like this, Timmy. Let's say I'm standing on the equator line, right? The equator, I have it split. My right leg is in the north section. My left leg is in the south section. It's at night. I'm going to all of a sudden look up in the sky, and on my right, I'm going to see the stars coming towards me, and on my left, they're going away from me.
That's just about as silly as saying
That's
that
right,
have a
you
gas container
clown.
at it.
That's right. They're not moving in different directions. They're moving in the same direction, save for Polaris. Thank you very
You've
much.
already admitted that they go counterclockwise and clockwise depending on if you're looking at them. Right?
Counterclockwise and clockwise aren't directions for the 10th time.
You said that they were directions. Did you?
I didn't say they were directions.
Do they go counterclockwise or clockwise?
They're not
depending on
directions. Yes, but they're counterclockwise and clockwise aren't directions.
So much. Thank you.
You fucking
Thank you
clown.
much. I gotta plug in my
So this
MacBook.
clown, what he
I'll be right
thinks
back.
is my scenario.
Thank you so much.
Timmy Clown.
Thank you, Quantum.
Timmy
Thank you. I'll
Clown,
be
my
right back.
scenario. Shut your pie hole. Where is this clown? Shut up. What he thinks is he can go to the equator, straddle the equator at night, look to his right to the north, or just look straight, and all the stars in the north are going towards him or coming towards him. But when he looks to the left, they're moving away from him. That's what he thinks.
No,
Essentially.
that was his,
Polaris rise in the east and set in the west. I'm just wondering.
I already said save for Polaris, dumbass. Open your ears.
Does Polaris rise in the east and set in the west? I'm just
I already
wondering.
said save for Polaris, dumbass.
Does it or not?
What the fuck?
Does it rise in the east and set in the west?
How many times did I say save for Polaris? Do you know what save for means?
Does Polaris rise in the east and set in the west?
Oh my god.
save for means with the exception of.
Bullshit the other day.
Save for means with the exception of.
So
Can you
Polaris
say
and
it
all
to
the
him for him
circumpolar
again?
stars very close to it do rise in the east and set in
Can
the
you
west.
save
Just
it?
wondering.
Can you tell him again, Nathan? I don't think he heard you.
Save for means with the exception of.
You understand that, Timmy?
So the circumpolar stars just right about around Polaris and Sigma Octans do set in the east and set, or rise in the east and set in the west. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. But I would have thought you appreciated that, given that in your... Hold on, just
Come on,
one second.
Quantum. You're a pro at this, dude. You know all about the stars.
Just one
Do they
second.
set in the east, rise in the east and set in the west?
That's correct. But you presumably realise that anyway, because in your example, you explained that you have to look north, in your example, and then turn around to get them to go the other way. Meaningless, given that you've just turned around. But yes, they all rise in the east and set in the west, save for Polaris, which means with the exception of.
Okay, great. So you guys think that the circumpolar stars just around Polaris rise in the east and set in the west. Is that what you're saying?
Sorry, how many times has it got to be repeated? They're all going in the same direction, that's correct.
Okay, they rise in the east off the horizon, right? And set in the west. Is that what you're saying?
They move from east to west, silly clown. You knucklehead.
Sorry, did you
As a
paraphrase
second
me?
grader can
Sorry.
reconcile this.
He's just
they
paraphrased.
move from east to west. Are there any stars that move from west to east, Timmy Clown?
Paraphrased.
That's not the point.
No, not from the horizon.
That is the point.
Hold on. No, not from the horizon. No one said that. No one said they come from the horizon.
What does rise and set mean? What does that mean? Does that mean that they don't go to the horizon when something rises and sets?
Some things don't start at the horizon, that's correct.
Okay, so you're saying that if you're, let's just say in UK or you're in North Dakota, you're saying that the Polaris and all the stars around it actually rise to the east and set in the west. Is that what you're saying?
Oh, you little
yes,
friggin' weasel, you.
That's the direction of travel.
They move from east to west, Timmy. East to west. All of them. Sun, moon, stars, save for Polaris, move from
Yeah, that's how the
east
globe model is.
to
Thank
west.
you for exemplifying the globe model.
From
That's exactly
east to west, Timmy. Do you understand that?
Why are we talking
Are
about
there any
models?
stars that move from west to east, Timmy Clown?
Why are we talking about models? We don't live on a model. Who cares what a model does?
I do, because it actually exemplifies what's happening in our reality.
No, that's called a
Right.
reification fallacy. Do you not know what a reification
Okay, well,
fallacy
you guys
is?
don't have a reification for your flat Earth pipe dream.
Hey, that's called a total obfuscation. So, no, suggesting that a model represents what happens in reality is, by definition, the fallacy of misplaced concreteness, otherwise known as a reification fallacy, turning that which is not concrete into something concrete, i.e. reality. Your model is not reality. Now, you are guilty of a reification fallacy, Timmy. You don't have to like that.
He's talking through
I
you.
wasn't. No, I wasn't. Actually, you were. But
He's
I need to
talking
get
through
some
you.
stuff done, guys, 'cause I'm
Shut
taking
up.
one minute.
Shut
I'll
up.
be back.
Hey, where's your model? Where's your model at, Timmy?
Check Stellarium. It actually works. depending on the
Stellarium's your model?
A couple of questions.
For Stellarium's
Hold
your
on, hold on.
heliocentric
No, he's
model.
given an answer. Can you not rumpus him? Hold on. Hold on, QE. Hold on. Stellarium, you say? So is the ground beneath my feet in this model? I repeat my question. Is the ground beneath my feet in Stellarium? Been here before, haven't we, Tim?
Over.
Come off moot.
Share your pain.
Come off moot,
Share
Timmy
your
Clown.
pain. Share your pain. The question's the same as last time.
Sorry, I
And
feel
also-
uncomfortable talking to Nathan without pants on. So I had pants on here in a moment. What were you saying? I'm sorry, I was gone.
Is the ground beneath my
Yeah.
feet in Stellarium?
You kind of cut out. You said ground in Stellarium. Sorry, Nate. What did you say?
No worries. Is the ground that is beneath my feet in Stellarium?
You kind of say like, "What is the ground?" I'm sorry. What's the beginning?
That's all right. I can say it 20 more times if you like. Is the ground beneath my feet in Stellarium?
Is the ground beneath your feet in Stellarium? It's a virtual ground, I suppose. Yeah.
So the ground I'm standing on is in this program. No, it's not. That's called a reification fallacy. You imagining that something that is not concrete, in this case a model, is my actual ground beneath my feet. It isn't. That's called the fallacy of misplaced concreteness. Turning something which is not concrete, in this instance a model, into something real. It's not real. The ground beneath my feet is not in Stellarium, Timmy. You slow? You're not getting this? Reification, mate.
Are you guys able to reify the flat Earth at all?
Sorry, you have reified Stellarium, fuckwit. You going to address this or just ask new questions and ignore the fact that you're guilty of a fallacy? Reification, the fallacy of misplaced concreteness. The ground beneath my feet is not in this model called Stellarium. You assume that is the ground beneath my feet. Wrong! A reification. You're guilty of it. Are you going to concede? No humility? No balls? Not a man? You're not a man? Can't admit when you're wrong? What's wrong with you?
That's called a straw man, actually, because...
No, it's called a reification fallacy. You have got no balls. You're not a real man.
So you're actually straw manning me.
You are not a man. You are guilty of a reification fallacy detailed on multiple occasions. You have turned this model called Stellarium into the ground beneath my feet, which it is not. You are guilty of the fallacy of misplaced concreteness. You are guilty. Now, if you can't concede this, it means you have no balls and are not a man.
Hey babe, am I a man?
No, you've got no balls. You're a pathetic weasel. You're a weasel, not a man, a weasel. A weasel would have an ounce of humility, admit when they're wrong, and say, yeah, I've turned Stellarium into the ground beneath your feet when it's not. That's called a reification fallacy, something you're guilty of and cannot admit because you're not a man. You've got no balls.
My girlfriend just said I did, but you guys can't reify your flat Earth pipe.
You keep talking about what I keep reifying, you fucktard. You've reified Stellarium into the ground beneath my feet. You've done that, not me. Now you can try and obfuscate away from it, you little weasel. That's why I'm saying you've got no balls. You're a weasel.
Flat Earther, he wants to talk to you. He thinks there's a dome.
On to domes now, rather than talking about your reified model called Stellarium that isn't the ground beneath my feet. How long will you flap, Fundy? No balls.
So Quantum Racer, here's my girlfriend.
No balls. No, Nathan Oakley, the guy telling you got no balls. You're not a man. You're going to address the fact that you can't address your guilt in regards to your fallacy of misplaced concreteness. When are you going to address it, you little weasel?
Go ahead, Quantum, my girlfriend.
No, Nathan, not Quantum, you little weasel. You're guilty of a fallacy. It's been detailed and explained. Either you're too stupid, thick, can't understand simple English, or you're just a snivelling little weasel with no balls. Which is it? Thick or weasel, Tim? Should we take a vote?
Sorry, I got my girlfriend.
Should we take a vote from the chat? Who thinks he's a snivelling weasel and just has no humility? Number one. Who thinks he's just stupid and doesn't understand something that's been played 6 times to him?
I vote
weasel.
Oh, sorry, she's from the Philippines?
Nobody gives a shit about your pretend blow-up girlfriend. We're talking about the fallacy you've used.
Oh, okay, you strawman me into your own fallacies. So.
No. You used the reification fallacy when you said Stellarium was the ground beneath my feet. No, it isn't. That's a reification fallacy. You're guilty of it. You've got no humility. You can't ever admit that you've used a reification fallacy, even though it's been detailed to you. That leaves me with only 2 conclusions. 1, you're too stupid to understand. 2, you're just a snivelling, no-balled weasel.
Yeah, I never said that the Stellarium is to the ground, but nice strawman, though. Thank you, though.
You didn't, so it's just a model then.
Guys,
so if it's not the ground beneath my feet, so if it's not reality, so if it's not the ground beneath my feet, what fucking use is it? It's not reality, dickhead. Who cares? It's just a model.
Yeah. Oh, you guys have so many good arguments.
Sorry, you're not going to respond to that either. The little snivelling weasel move from Tim Osman, the no-balled weasel. Yeah. So what use is it then if it's not the ground beneath my feet and not reality, Tim?
That actually portrays exactly what we see whenever...
No, it doesn't. That would be saying it's reality. What we see is reality. This is a model. Reification times 2. It seems we can't move on. You're too stupid to understand what's been explained to you, and you're going to reassert it, having not acknowledged it, not conceded, and either not understood or are too snivelling and weaselly to concede the same reification you've just used twice. No, it's not what we see! We don't see what's in Stellarium. That's reality. What I see with my eyeballs is reality. That's not Stellarium, you complete mong.
Let me know when you're done. Are you done?
You cannot see with your eyes that which is represented in Stellarium. It's not reality. Model, useless.
I'm guessing he's done, guys. I'm guessing he's done. Anyway, I'm going to speak for just a moment. It's been 5 years and you guys can't even reify the flat earth dome.
Same old shitty straw man. Claims I'm using straw men. No. Still weasel position that you've reified this Stellarium model into the ground beneath our feet, then said it's what we can see. Times 2. Reification, moron. Not what I do, what you have done. You're still in the same spot, being a weasel, having your toes burnt like a snivelling weasel. Well, I'll stay here indefinitely, mate. No worries.
You guys can't reify the flat.
Not what we've reified. How many fucking times? You reified Stellarium. Hello?
You guys can't do that, right?
You've reified Stellarium, snivelling weasel. Can't you ever address your own logical fallacy? Is it non-stop rumpusing and ignorance?
It's okay. Invoker just doesn't know the first step of the scientific method. Leave him alone.
Oh, yeah. Observe a phenomena.
Okay, and guess what? We don't see ourselves spinning. Yeah, good one.
You don't see yourself spinning? Okay.
We don't see ourselves spinning. That's the natural phenomena. Good job.
Continue to talk. Go ahead. Okay. So anyway, if it's a heliocentric or geocentric sphere, it's still a sphere. So geocentric isn't sphere or isn't spinning, correct? Geocentric?
No, these models.
Do you know what that means?
It means we don't live on these models. That's what it means. We don't live on any of these models either.
There was a cowboy talking. I'm just wondering, does he know that geocentric doesn't mean that we're spinning?
Do you know we don't live on a model? This geocentric or heliocentric spinning or non-spinning sphere are models that we don't live on. That's a reification fallacy times 3. Are you so stupid that having had it explained more than 7 times that you're going to ask a question that revolves around you reifying a geocentric or heliocentric model? You complete clown?
This
is flat Earth the model or no?
Minecraft
what? Sorry, no. The nature of the reality we are faced with and the aspect of geometry that is its flatness is definitely not a model. The Earth's obviously and observably flat. I can make that statement without using any reified models like the geocentric or heliocentric model that you're about to reify with the cowboy you want to argue with. Yeah, you're going to reify another model, you complete moron. Don't you understand? Too slow to understand what's been explained 8 times to you. You're just thick, Tim.
So you guys don't have a model.
Thick as 2 short shites. How many times do I have to explain a reification fallacy to you? You're just going to go straight to a geocentric model, are you? Moron. Straight to the models, moron. Moron. You're going to go straight to a new model, moron. Heliocentric or geocentric model, you moron. That's you, Tim, the moron.
5 years and you guys have nothing still.
You're going to go straight to another model,
sorry,
you
guys,
moron.
I can try to help you.
Models. Hello, reification fallacies. That's what you're guilty of over and over again. Dumbo. That's you, Tim.
Sorry, guys, 5 years and you have nothing still. Do you guys need help?
Sorry, you've given us nothing but reification fallacies. Sorry, do you think you've come here from a position of power with your reified models over and over again?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. 5 years and no evidence for this freaking globe you think you live on.
Yeah, you've given it's 5 years and he's given us nothing, chocolate? 5 years of absolute nothing but fallacy. What do you think you're in a position of power having asserted the same fallacy 4 times?
Yeah, you guys have nothing after 5 years, I agree.
No, you've come with nothing. We haven't offered anything because we're not offering anything. You're offering star rotation and reified models. No acknowledgement of your guilt of fallacy. Just the same fallacy. Do you think that's giving us evidence of a globe? You moron.
Oh, thank you for offering nothing. I appreciate that.
You've offered nothing here, Tim. You've offered nothing but fallacy, something you can't acknowledge, and are now claiming we've offered nothing. No, you've tried to offer something, a fallacy.
Okay, a fallacy is better than nothing, as you.
No, it isn't! Fallacious reasoning proves nothing. Your argument's instantaneously bunk if it uses a fallacy. You moron! You think that a fallacy is a good argument? That is the most stupid thing you've ever asserted here.
The fallacy is a thing as well. Which
God.
Yeah. Anyway, go ahead, Chocolate. Thank you so much. Nathan just admitted that you guys.
What
have
is a
nothing
fallacy? What is a fallacy? And who invoked it? Invoker.
Hey, there is an internet, and you can go check it out yourself if you don't know.
Oh, you know what fallacy that is?
Burden of proof reversal fallacy, that's called.
Been hurling. Sure.
Sure. Hey, let's get back to. Is your girlfriend still there?
You seem to be really corny. I can't believe any girl would date you, bro. You're like a freaking cornball.
Put your girlfriend
What the
on here.
hell's
Let's
wrong
see
with
if
you?
she knows what directions are.
Hey, babe. Quantum Eraser wants to talk to you. Come here.
Yeah, I want to talk to her.
He's a fundy Christian flat Earth domer. He has no evidence for what he believes in. Come here, real quick.
Hey, when you go outside, do you
Hold on a
experience-
second.
When you go
Hold on
outside,
a second.
do you experience ball? Or
Here,
do you
here you
experience
go,
flat?
Quantum. Here's my girlfriend. She knows that you're a funny Christian domer.
Oh,
Go
and
ahead.
does she know you're a fundy materialist?
Go ahead, ask her a question. She's here.
I will ask her a question. Love. Are counterclockwise, hello, is counterclockwise and clockwise actual directions?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Is that a question?
Yes.
No, he's an idiot.
Yes, your boyfriend thinks counterclockwise and clockwise are actual directions.
What question is that? We're dummies.
Well,
he's a
yeah, your boyfriend's a dummy. He thinks counterclockwise and clockwise are directions. You said they weren't.
Thank you so much. That was great, guys. So Nathan,
Yeah, it was great. Thank you so much.
Quantum Eraser thinks that all the stars rise in the east and in the west. This is great, guys.
Can we hear
Thank you
more from
so
her?
much for all this content. This is great.
Can we hear more from her, please? She sounds lovely.
Oh, she has green hair.
Great show, guys. I think I'm going to do something better like rap presents at the moment. Thank you so much.
Have a
for
lovely
actually
Christmas. Thank you for joining us, Tim. I
Thanks,
really appreciate
guys.
it.
Thank you.
Thank you. It was fun.
Can I say something?
Go ahead. Whoever's rattling,
I've
can
never
you stop?
I've never witnessed before a blockhead to commit a ritual suicide, but now I've seen.
The best part was when his girlfriend debunked his original assertion. That was priceless.
Yeah. That was his sister, guaranteed.
No, let's not add bomb the crap out of him. No need. Funny though that was. I'm sure she's very nice.
But is this the level of globe debaters that we have left
Yes.
after all these years?
Yes.
That's pretty sad. I mean, he sounds almost, I had to say it, but he sounds almost mentally deranged trying to, I mean, most of the world has moved on. It's just all these people left trying to hold on to the globe. I mean, most of the people moved on as in like, they've just gone back into the matrix, but these guys still hanging around and saying after 5 years, I don't know, they're not. This is endgame.
Well, he went on moot.
Yeah,
Like,
I
that
don't
might
know.
be-
It sounded
Question
pretty
about
deranged
Stellarium.
there.
Yeah.
Was it?
If you can finish off Earth-Shaped Investigator, then I've got a point about Moot, and then Paul. Go ahead, Earth-Shaped Investigator.
Yeah, I mean, you know, at this point in the game, it's just that the people that are still wanting to argue for this are going to be like of that caliber and of that attitude. So, not looking forward to it. That's all I was going to say.
Tim's not that bad. He's actually matured, albeit mildly, and he's not the worst person to have these discussions with, believe it or not, as terrible as that sounded.
That scares me.
Isn't that the truth? But yeah, there are far worse people to have these conversations with than Tim Osman, as much as I hate to say that. So, that being said...
What do you consider worse?
Oh no, shit sandwich time. So, the reason we say we're on moot was because that was a misapprehension on Tim Osman's part. Maybe you can give some detail to that quantum eraser if you're around.
He's on mute.
Lost 1. This is lost 2. You lost 3 over. Paul, go ahead.
If he's lost, can I ask my question?
Bushcan, go ahead.
Okay, Stellarium. It's obviously supposed to be some kind of representation of what we see in the sky, supposedly. Now, observation, there's a lot of factors in observation as this show is represented. Does that software, does it account for any form of refraction, diffusion, magnification? And also, don't you have to, if it's going to represent so-called what we see in the sky, you have to also know the distances to those objects that you're viewing, right? Am I understanding that correctly? So there's a lot of problems with using Stellarium as a model, even if it is so-called representation of what we see. Am I getting that right?
Yeah, you've got star charts that have been done flat for a very long time. But ultimately speaking, their model is based on the R value and wrapping things around a spherical point of view. So whether or not it includes refraction is kind of irrelevant. It's still just a model, a representation that we are not experiencing in actualization.
Well, the few times I have used Stellarium, like you can use it on your phone and you can kind of try to match up what you see. Even if I'm viewing it and using my phone as if I view it, it never really truly fully matches 100%. So even their own model is not perfect to what we see, from what I can tell so far.
The model. This the calm after the storm, is it?
Yeah, just sort of reflecting like everyone past several months on the globe side and on the flat side, bringing up, yeah, it's been 5 years, and yeah, it really has been this time. And as we approach the end of the year, to reflect on, yeah, where we're at, you think about.
I don't know. All I say is massive progression from where I'm sitting. The point where we've gone from the whole body of science proves we're on a sphere to whole body of science is another way of saying pseudoscience. Pseudoscience doesn't prove anything. Scientific empiricism is on our side. The Earth is obviously and observably flat. It's a fairly concise statement that summarises the last 5 years of progression from science not meaning science, meaning pseudoscience, proving Earth is a sphere, to the absolute demolition of the hijacking of perspective and the obvious and observable nature of the reality we actually face. Shout out to Julio Pabon, who says, Tim Osman, 2019, a fallacy is better than nothing. Interpretation, a lie is better than no proof. That's a great quote. A fallacy is better than nothing. Priceless.
Well, a lot has happened in 5 years.
Yeah,
we have George Musser to thank. Gravity is not a force, but you can think of it as a force. I'd say a lot of things have happened.
Well, in 5 years, we've gone to science
I agree,
proves
yeah.
everything to science doesn't prove anything.
That's true as well.
Yeah, but when they say
Good one.
science, they mean pseudoscience. Just got to make that clear. Science definitely
100%.
proves things. Their science isn't science, it's pseudoscience. That's why they can declare that it doesn't prove anything.
That was just me quoting them.
Yeah.
5 years ago, it's science, it's proven. Today, science doesn't prove anything, man. It just insinuates.
Let's have a moment
so
of
much
silence. Go
Sorry.
get refreshed.
1 second. Beyonder, did you want to add something?
I was just going to say, so much of science is a procedure based off of certain principles, and it looks like when you look at the principles that they use to arrive at the Earth being round, they're so tendentious, so specious. You know, how are you going?
That's not science.
Yeah,
That's not science.
yeah, but it looks like the science, so-called, has been put in such narrow parameters they can't do real science anymore. You know?
Yes, they can. Scientists do science. Pseudoscience does pseudoscience. Yeah. What are you talking about? Be specific.
The Copernican principle.
That's not science.
That appears to be the principle that they do their quote-unquote science
That's
from.
not science,
It's science
though.
as long as you can
That's not science, though.
Beyonder, or Lemonbird, to stop the constant interruption from quantum eraser, the only way you're going to stop that is by either using the word pseudoscience in substitution of what they call science, or continually say words like what they call science, or as you phrased it, science so-called. That way you'll avoid constant interruption.
It is pseudoscience, though.
Perfect. I like you a lot.
I don't.
Oh.
The thing is
Oh God. Oh God.
the thing is that, yeah, what's happened in the past 5 years is that the globe side has had to backpedal so much. But keep in mind, though, that for the average so-called normie, all they had to do was just feed them enough for the normie to say, okay, it's a globe, I'll go back to it. So that's kind of like a double-edged sword that, yes, the people arguing had to backpedal a lot, but for the average normie, they just got fed enough nonsense to go back to the lie. So, although, people are still waking up, so it's just double-edged sword.
Shout out to Unitok Svemu. He says, Tim, come back. You left Gravity in Discord.
Oh my God.
How sad is your life that you got a girl at home and you coming on here
Oh my God.
to mess with flat earthers?
Well,
Must be real bored, or she's not very exciting. One of the two, or something. I'm not sure how that works.
That was part of his seduction. Watch me bully flat earthers. Watch this. I'm super sexy.
I'm a real man, babe.
Watch me argue with guys
Well,
on
he
the
did try to make
internet.
the point.
I'm a man. Let me show you.
Watch me come up with
And that was the
fallacies.
system.
Watch me come up with fallacies and not admit them.
Well, your wife may be hot, but she may or may not be able to give you, hot, steaming scientific.
I'll have you know, my wife has me breathing with science.
Such a way.
Oh, Nox Fairy, is it?
Thanks.
Go ahead.
Sorry?
You were on server mute. If
I
you
was
leave
just
and
saying
come back.
it is funny.
Go ahead.
Okay, sorry, I was just saying how it is funny how you can use actual science to actually prove the pseudoscience that they do preach and use. You can actually use real science to prove that. There's a cause as to why they do it. Because if they use real science, it would fail. They can't use real science to prove anything that they claim because it always fails for them.
Yeah, spot on. That's where we're using exactly that to win our arguments with them, by setting down the actual standards of science and then putting what they claim through that method. And it never, ever succeeds.
Yeah, shout out to John
Once you go
Thor
flat,
and
you don't
that
go back.
clip that he cut out from the show.
We missed that shout out. It may need retracting, so best you repeat it.
Shout out to John Thor and the clip that he cut out from the Flat Earth debate show with you, Nathan, explaining how science is on Flat Earth side.
Yeah, shout out to John Thor. Subscribe today.
I think you should have that link underneath every video. That's so good of you.
Yeah,
Probably.
I don't think I've seen it.
It's something we talk about on the show every day. I mean, you could take a trimmed out clip from probably this show saying the same exact thing.
No, I think that's your top number one summary.
Hey, did you shameless plug the next Ballbusters on 28 December?
I did.
With Taboo Conspiracy.
I did it on yesterday's show for those not watching live.
Can you do it again? 28 December?
I can. You came up in a comparison. So we were talking about Ben because originally it was Eric Debay we were talking about and saying, look, we could easily criticise, but you just don't watch if you criticise. Whereas with someone like Ben, undoubtedly on the 27th of December 2019, Quantum Eraser Channel.
28!
you say 28th? I thought it was 27th. Oh, okay. Nevertheless, Saturday, 28th of December 2019, Ballbusters on the Quantum Eraser channel, Be Here or Be Sphere. We will have Ben, who has a YouTube channel, Taboo Conspiracy 2. So subscribe today to Ben, check him out. He's ace. But he'll be discussing, I think he's discussing his Dallas presentation with us. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes.
Excellent. So, Ballbusters on the Quantum Eraser channel. Be Here or Be Sphere, Saturday the 28th, 7 p.m. UK time, 2 p.m. Central Standard, 1 p.m. Slick, very slick.
Yeah, Taboo's ace, man. He's got some great material. I'm so impressed.
He's got a little skit where he's got these submarine torpedo operators looking through a periscope. And they're looking at boats and they go, one says to the other, ooh, that one's about 13 miles away. At least half of that boat's looming up from beyond the curve. We can't possibly shoot at that one. Well, what about that one? Oh, but that's definitely all looming. That's an entire mirage. That's at least 20 miles away. What about this one? Well, that's probably about 6 miles away. I'm pretty sure that's not in any way holographic projection. Yeah, we can shoot at that one.
Yeah, I have seen that. I can't remember where I've seen it, but I've seen that.
That's Taboo Conspiracy. That's Ben. So shout out, another
Okay,
shout out
yeah.
to Julio Pabon. Tim's Girlfriend 2019. Oh my god. Like, what kind of question is that? Oh my god. Thank you very much for the super chat. Also, shout out to Awaken Narrative. Let's just see if I can find... Oh no, it's below the bit. Hold on a second, Awaken Narrative. I'll find you in my larger font screen. Read out your super chat. Here we go. I like the battle between flat versus globe to the story of David versus Goliath. Oh, I liken the battle of flat... I'll start that again. I liken the battle between flat versus globe to the story of David versus Goliath. Truth wins, and wins rapidly. Time to knock these botches out. Who's ready? Thank you very much indeed for the super chat. Shout out to Awaken Narrative.
Hey, Ben, Taboo Conspiracy has got some great material on how far you should see from sea level, right? Or 6 foot tall, right? And their calculator says at 6 feet, you should only see what? 2 or 3 miles from, the begging the question, proof of nothing, perspective denying Earth curve calculator, right? What is that? How far should you see a person standing on the beach, 6 foot elevation? Does anyone know?
Depends on the weather.
I heard 3 miles, something like that.
Yeah, 3 miles. Ben has tons of material showing that it's 10 times that amount that you can see. So, I mean, he gets down to the nitty gritty. He doesn't play any games. He's ace, man. If you're not subscribed to his channel, what are you doing?
It's going to be a painful show for me, this Ballbusters.
Yeah, I'll definitely check him out.
I can sense tension in this Ballbusters. So, sorry. What we should see, did you say?
Sorry,
come on,
Amidi.
Dave.
Yes.
Sorry. So what's telling us what we should see exactly? What's dictating what my eyeballs take in this instance? According to what you did mention, according to some calculator. So
Yeah, I was going by globe science.
Does this calculator dictate what we... Hold on, mate. I'm really trying to make a point. This is why it's going to be painful on Globebusters, because this is going to happen a lot. I can sense it. So what we should see, Quantum Eraser, would be dictated by what?
The Earth curve calculator.
I'm going to choke him. I'm going to kill him.
Or
right.
eyes.
God damn it, he's doing it deliberately. With that, I'm going to say, if you're watching this on the Nathan Oakley 1980 premiering stream, then stay tuned, as there will be an after show to follow, hopefully without me strangling Quantum Eraser. So stay tuned if you're watching on Nathan Oakley 1980. A massive, huge, enormous thank you to both Discord and G Plus panels for making this live show possible. If you're watching this live on Nathan Oakley channel, then unfortunately this is where we bid you farewell. A huge, massive, enormous thank you for smashing the super chat, liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, and all that good stuff. Be sure to check out nathanoakley.com and the Flat Earth Debate Forum to keep up to date with the community debate. I've been Nathan Oakley. Stay tuned if you're watching on Nathan Oakley 1980 once again, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun.
Yeah, sorry, Nathan. I thought the show had actually finished. Hey, I thought it was like that chill time sort of atmosphere time.
You can consider this the green room if you wish.
It's always the chill
I'm still
time.
getting used to like the Discord.
Hey, I'm back.
I know it's always chill time.
You already know. We do this for breakfast. Destroy the globe for breakfast.
Yeah. Oh, he had his daughter on.
Literally, because John will be
first-
eating breakfast in the middle of this shit.
Yeah,
that's it. Eh? Like a flat earther shouldn't be able to school like any glober in any way. Eh? But it just happens time and time again, more and more these days. And yeah, but it shouldn't be that way. If it's
Shouldn't be any such thing as a flat earther. If we lived on a ball, there wouldn't be any flat earthers. Her would have been measured.
That's right. Yeah.
Rotation would have been measured. All that would have been measured in concrete. We wouldn't be debating it. We would just live on a magical spinning water ball in a vacuum. But we don't.
Absolutely. Yeah. Like I've been told, like, wouldn't I feel foolish, or am I going to feel stupid? What if it turns out that it is a ball? Well, I'm very confident that that's not going to be the case. I'd actually put my life on that. But let's say, for argument's sake, that it did turn out that it was a ball. I still wouldn't feel stupid. I'd still consider everyone who didn't look into the topic and subject themselves to begin with, they're still the stupid ones, because it was obviously always set up in such a way to only capture the people that are seeking real truth. Anyone else is basically going to moo and bar their way through life as they usually do.
At some point, am I going to start perceiving the world as a ball? Like, is my vantage going to change at some point? That all of a sudden I'm going to see curvature, and we're going to have proof for gas pressure without any form of container, and
The only way
rotation, all these movements. I mean, come on, this is nonsense.
Wouldn't you be absolutely shocked and surprised then? Because when you're learning about flat Earth, it just all makes sense. It's not so shocking. It's actually like, hey, this actually makes sense, really. But if you start seeing curvature and spinning balls, it's like, fuck, you serious?
Well, that's the exact opposite of our reality, which is what.
Well, you were there the other day,
strikes me.
weren't you, when that guy was arguing about we don't feel anything because we're born into the motion and movement already, so therefore you don't feel it.
Oh my god!
So we don't really need
Yeah,
it in
it
our
was-
ear then.
No, apparently it wouldn't work. Somebody on Discord yesterday said
We
if you
were
were
all
born,
born
if you were
relatives.
born. Somebody told me on Discord yesterday in 24/7 that if you were born in a Formula One race car, right, going around in a circle
That's
at
the
200
one.
miles per hour, you wouldn't. The baby would never feel it because it was born that way.
Yeah, that's right.
Right.
Somebody literally said that,
No.
and I was just like, yeah, okay, buddy.
No, they would have to be going on a race cart for 6 months non-stop, growing the baby from scratch, and then maybe something in that direction, but no.
Just to
That's
drop
like-
it in Just to drop it in for the audience's benefit, my wife just put my kid in, and she's wrapped my kid up like a present. So she's got 2 Christmas stockings on her feet, and she's wrapped up like a present. I don't know why.
Cool. Take a picture.
I put it on camera because I thought that's hysterical. She just came in and sat on my lap. I'm like, why are you so crinkly? And then it suddenly dawned on me she's been wrapped up like a present.
Too funny. Can't wait to see it, man.
Sorry about
It's
that.
like Larry King interviewing Neil deGrasse Tyson, and there's a big window behind them. Flat Earth, still, stationary, motionless. And Neil deGrasse Tyson says, where we are right now, we're spinning about roughly 840 miles per hour. Like, reification, Neil, but you got to tell us that.
Yeah. You know which one I find the funniest with Neil is when he's explaining to Joe Rogan how they know that the Saturn V or something went to the moon because of the amount of fuel that was needed and that the rocket could hold, and the amount of fuel that was calculated to be needed to get to the moon. And if you put those two together, it's just obvious, isn't it?
Oh, so
compare that to Werner von Braun.
If you fill the Saturn V rocket with fuel, therefore moon landing is real, right?
Yeah, and I couldn't believe that. Like Joe's sitting there just taking it. It's like, you really are a bitch, Joe. You just have sold out, haven't you? We're watching it. We're seeing
You
you.
only need just the amount of fuel that you calculated it should take, and that means automatic success.
Yep.
Yeah.
But it went against the amount of fuel that Werner von Braun calculated.
Oh no, sorry, 10th man. No. So what's the fastest way to debunk this horseshit? Sky is not a vacuum.
It's going to a vacuum.
Space is fake.
There's no space.
Right, there is no sky vacuum. Gas would fill the space.
Yeah.
Who cares how much fuel they put on this rocket?
We know that. Sometimes you gotta jump into Narnia to destroy it a little bit, kick it around,
Narnian invasion.
shit on it a little bit.
I know Nathan don't like doing that, but sometimes you gotta. No. Nathan is right here. But what I was doing is Neil is not a rocket guy. He's an astrophysicist. But Werner von Braun knows his rockets, and he said it would take this much fuel. And here's Neil as an astrophysicist saying, no, it's this much fuel.
Yeah.
Can I make an observation?
It's quite a ridiculous answer, eh?
This is funny.
Like as an answer for something. I mean, even a basic novice glober could have come up with a better answer.
Go ahead, Paul.
If you can share my screen, somebody posted this in a live stream. Why is it that when the Globers say what we should or shouldn't see, they represent that by taking us out of that view? You understand what I mean by that? Like,
of course.
Do I see the world from floating? What?
It's Muppet vision. So you're seeing the side of your own head. Muppet vision. Yeah, your position would be to see what is actually being viewed from this position on that presupposed sphere top. Well, your eyeballs would be representative of what that little figure's eyeballs are, but you're seeing your own head.
Right. So they show you what you shouldn't see, or what you should see by showing you not from your own position. I think that's just real interesting. So what they should be showing is me viewing from the little man looking out, not from looking inward towards the little man. Interesting.
Yeah. Why is it asking about the horizon that you'd see when the horizon in this particular instance isn't a natural vanishing point in the distance? It's the edge of a presupposed sphere. And the position that you're looking at this claimed horizon that's being questioned is towards you in the position that they've had the man looking at you, pretty much. Like, this is totally misrepresentative of anything we ever see ever. And there's no horizon in that guy's field of view because we're not looking at his field of view. What horizon?
And also, look,
I love that.
Even according to this, the horizon should be dropping, right? Because if you're looking straight out, the horizon should be dropping. It doesn't rise to your eye level. That's another interesting observation. This little this little man.
Yeah, it's a cluster gaggle.
Yeah, when you go to a weather balloon at 120,000 feet or so, and you just see that distance, and you think, well, if the horizon is supposed to be dropping at 3 miles, well, boats going over the curve, so shouldn't that be just so obvious when you're looking at 120,000 feet view, probably seeing like 700 miles extending out to that line? The line just keeps going back further and further, and the globers will always say, no, it's just past that line now. Oh, no, it's just past that one. That's where it curves.
Yeah,
it's only 3 miles.
We're talking about the fundamentalist religious zealot sphere edge that these boats are going over. Is that what you're talking about? Their edge, the edge.
Yeah, whatever edge you're looking at, that's the edge there. Yeah.
All right, interesting that these fundies have got an edge, because we get asked for an edge even though we don't assert one, but yet they're constantly babbling on about how boats go over edges.
Yeah, they're being very edgy.
Exactly. Yeah, we're all on the edge in their model. Everyone's on.
I have a question.
Ed?
What's a cluster gaggle or
cluster gaggle?
Yeah.
A great big mess.
Somebody was over talking Lemon Bird. Someone say, "Hey, can you guys hear Lemon Bird?"
No, I'll leave and come back.
Yeah, I heard him.
But I hear Knox.
I can't hear our rave.
Go ahead, Lemon Bird.
Lemon Bird is our rave, right?
Yeah, I think Lemon Bird left.
Oh no. No. Go ahead, Lemon Bird.
No. Oh, wait a second. Let me clear it up. I said, Lemon Bird. See, Lemon Bird could hear me, and I was talking to you. I said, "Can you hear Lemon Bird?" You said no. I said, "Maybe you should leave and come back." He thought I was talking to him.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, but that might be the right thing to do because
Chocolate,
we heard you and not him.
Yes, we can hear you, Lemon Bird.
Thank you.
Yeah, no worries.
I was just saying they'd make flat earthers out of everybody if they just properly teach perspective and how things compress toward your eye line.
Yep, completely agree. To be fair to you, Lemon
unfortunately,
Bird, you were sorry. Hold on one second, Chocolate. You were second to Arwen in that regard. I don't know cognitively where you came to it, but in terms of expressing it on the show, Arwen got it, then you got it. So again, I was listening to some old shows, and long before the penny dropped for me, it dropped for you.
Well, it's a difficult
Arwen's
one.
pretty artistic.
Yeah, you were ahead of the curve in that regard. So was Arwen. Head of the curve. Boom boom.
Yes.
Can
We
Arwen
dispelled the curve. We dispelled it.
Can Arwen explain this?
Well, I can give some reference to how I came up to it. Everybody was always basically already presuming that the ballers were right in some way, but that they still, we were still basically looking for that curve. And then through several footage of both Riley and Ranty, eventually figured out, like, wait, it just looks like an horizon, but there's another horizon, and it's not like some weird mirage going on. No, it's actually there. And the horizon is an optical side effect. And then I started to look into, what am I actually seeing? How is this image? What am I actually seeing geometrically to my eyes? And so I started to devise, what the horizon really was. And I came to the concept of the optical slant and the miraging zones that happen beyond it. And eventually figured out that it all has to do with the limited viewing angle and perspective, of course. And the rest is history.
What Arwen did that was clever was he drew it in Muppet Vision, so he's describing the effects of perspective with these lines coming out from this eyeball on a stick in Muppet Vision. And around about the same time, Zachary Sabala, this is a couple of years ago, explained the same thing, again in an orthographic representation, drawing these triangles coming out and saying this is the most important discovery anyone's ever going to come across in regards to the Earth curve argument. And he put it on screen and I'm like, tell me more. So obviously I didn't get it, but round about that time Arwen was describing it similarly with the optical slant, just different wording, and so was Lemon Bird, just describing it as it is with perspective as the phraseology. But you were all talking about basically the same thing, something we're all on the same page of obviously now, but at the time I certainly wasn't. Lemonbird was. Zach was. I think in reality Zach was the first, to my knowledge, even before Arwin.
Could be.
Yeah, the
But
only element they're missing
I'm
is
presenting the
is
picture
how
now, by the way, if you wanna
the
present.
horizons be shortened by you being too close to the flat plane. Sorry.
I was just saying I'm presenting the eye on a stick picture that eventually became the schematic for the observation of the optical slant.
It's the stick eyeball.
Yeah.
It's eyeball on
Never
a stick.
change something that's not broken.
So we just need Jeff Dunn now.
Yeah, the optical slant is the main thing that they're missing because they got the simplified version of perspective where the object, disappears evenly from all sides. But those rules change when you're too close to the flat plane. That's the part that we didn't really get catechized on properly.
Yeah, that's got a title too, foreshortening.
Yeah.
And you definitely notice it happening with things like everything like the sun, the moon, the stars and such, which you would think that they definitely do show similarity, how they go out of your view over that horizon line in a sense. Like apparently they're going behind.
No, but they
curve,
don't.
but it
They
just-
don't change in angular size or anything. So
we
that's
got there
not the
first.
thing.
Bugger. Yeah. No. What they do is use whole numbers on the ground. So when you're looking at a 10-foot wall in orthographic side view, it doesn't matter what the distance you write on the line between the eyeball and the wall. Let's just bring up Howard's picture again. So for the audience's benefit, sorry to those of you in Discord.
Is it in the chat?
It's not, but just I'll be describing it verbally. So it doesn't matter if this is my vantage point on the left-hand side of an image and the wall in this representation is on the right-hand side of the image. Now, if I draw on this line where Owen's got field of view, if I draw on that 10 meters, yeah, this still remains a 10-foot wall. Whereas if I draw instead, try not to interrupt, mate. So if I write on this line
sorry.
instead of
I'm sorry.
I don't need you to tell me that you're going to shut up.
I'm going to shut up.
For God's sake, I don't need you to tell me that you're going to shut up. Just pop the mute button on. Not, oh yeah, I'll shut up now. Thank you. I'll start again. So from my vantage point, if this wall is 10 foot in whole numbers, unlike the stars which will be given in angular size from a Fundy globe head, this will be called a 10-foot wall. And the distance I'm going to write on this top line is 10 meters. Now, that's still a 10-foot wall at 10 meters. If I now write 1 million miles on this top line, the representation doesn't change. It's still a 10-foot wall. The fact that I've put 1 million miles between the observer and the observation isn't representing the fact that the wall, still 10 foot in this description, has actually reduced in angular size. So the angular size at 1 million miles is insignificant, tiny. You can't see it anymore. It's too small to see. But in this side view, that isn't represented. I can put any value I like on the distance, and it doesn't change the 10-foot wall. Now, to make this a bit more concise for anyone new to Flat Earth that might be watching this, the original argument in 2014, why can't I see New York from England? Because if the plane is flat, I'd see New York from England. Well, no, you wouldn't, because the angular size is far too small. So as it gets further and further away, it gets smaller and smaller in angular size. But when they put it through their Earth curve calculation, based on their hijacking of perspective and side elevation, fondly called Muppet vision by us, because you see the side of your own head, you remove the aspect of perspective. The angular size doesn't change with distance, and then you can call that effect of things reducing with size to the point they disappear, Earth curve. And that's all they've done. Remove aspects of angular size. Now the point to the chap I was cutting off really quite stroppily, sorry, is that when you go to the sky, they no longer use actual size. Then they're all about angular size. Then they know what angular size is, then they play dumb when they're talking on the ground so they can remove perspective. Perspective and angular size being not actual size. Very useful when you're talking about the stars, because they haven't got a clue what size they are. It's arbitrarily assigned based on an R value for Earth, an R value for Venus, and Kepler's third law of interplanetary motion applied to give you the scaling. So in those instances, they don't know the actual size, precisely what they'll use when they remove perspective. Sorry, that was a bit long, but worth it because we've spent so long doing it. Thank you for the images, by the way, Arvin.
No, I got that
yeah,
because
you're
I needed
welcome.
to understand
Sorry
the
to be so
angular
stroppy.
size part a bit better. And I'm so sorry because I'm new on this Discord and I talk as though we're talking on the phone kind of thing. I don't understand this. I'm bugging out your yeah.
Well,
That's okay.
Nathan, you have to walk around on eggshells with Nathan. He's pretty harsh.
Oh, I know that, but it's cool. You know, like you don't have to be sorry, Nathan. Like you're cool, mate. I'm not a bloody. You don't have to coddle
Just
me.
check it out. The hypocrisy. I can't believe it, John.
Yeah.
You just spoke about Kepler's third law, but you state that space isn't real. So how can Kepler's third law be a law if space isn't real?
It isn't.
It's a presuppositional law. It's what they need in order to set things in
Yeah,
the
but I
universe.
thought a law was
Standard
a
for their
law.
presuppositions.
Yeah, but if it's a law, then it has to be
Third
true.
law,
Yeah.
law. Listen, what makes Kepler's third law a law?
Kepler's third law of motion, ellipses. What else was there? Planets go in orbits.
Orbits?
Yeah.
Hold on. What's an orbit? Highlander, what's an orbit?
In the heliocentric.
Hold on, Lemonbird.
Stop.
Sorry, you got talked over. Say again, Highlander.
I said it's the path the planetary body takes around its star.
Oh, so it's the presupposition that things are falling around celestial bodies then? Presupposition.
It's still a law.
Sorry.
I think gravity's
A
involved.
law about orbits. And an orbit is your, not mine, fundy presupposition that bodies fall around one another. Your fundy presupposition. Not a law, it's based on orbits. Presupposition.
But
not
it's
law.
Still a law.
Not a
And
natural
you
law.
just stated that it was a law.
Not a
Yeah.
natural law. A fundamentalist presupposition.
Highlander.
All right, so it's one of that laws that you're going to pick to choose not to believe then.
Believing laws? What does law
Highlander.
have to do with belief?
Sorry.
Highlander.
Do you know the difference between maths and, in this instance, this mathematical application? Do you understand that maths is abstract, regardless if you label your maths a law? It's not a natural law. You appreciate that?
Highlander.
It's still a law.
Sorry,
Highlander.
I've just asked him a specific question. Do you appreciate that maths, abstract, is not reality, first point, and that second point, this particular law isn't a
So maths
natural
is not
law?
reality.
Why are you talking over
So
me?
that I
You
can go
dumb
into Tesco
fuck.
and tell
You
them I'm not
stupid
paying for my shopping
moron,
because math
retard,
is
dumb
not
fuck,
reality.
idiot, crony,
Yeah.
slimy, weasel, dumb fuck. I hadn't finished. You're going to cackle for me, you little weasel. Go on, cackle away. Get it all out, and then I'll ask you the question you can't answer. Go on, get it all out. Share your pain.
Carry on. There you go.
So am I to assume that you won't interrupt this time then? You saying carry on like the other guy when I'm pointing out that you just need to put yourself on mute if you're not going to be talking. Not give me permission. Shut up if you want to shut up, rather than interrupting me and having to point out your ignorance and flapping. So, you appreciate that maths is abstract. And even though you're describing something mathematical with the word law, it is not a natural law. Do you understand?
Yes.
So it's not a natural law.
Understand what
It's
you're-
not
Yeah.
applying to nature, this law.
Well, how does it not apply to nature if the planetary body is orbiting its star?
Oh, so how is it applying to nature if I use the presupposition I pointed out when we first started this discourse, when asking what an orbit was, and upon the reply pointing out that that is your fundamentalist religious belief that objects fall around one another, not based on natural law, but based on your mathematical reification of an orbit. Do you understand?
Well, I understand what an orbit is, Nathan.
Yeah, your fundamentalist religious assertion, in this instance, backed by a mathematical law.
It has nothing to do with religion, Nathan.
Sorry, maths,
Religion is a
maths,
belief
maths,
based
you
on
dumb
a
shit.
zero
No, no, not
whatever.
religion, your religion.
Like belief
Your
in the
religion.
container. Sorry,
Too
not the
triggered,
container,
too
the
triggered,
antecedent.
moron, dumb fuck,
But you
idiot,
claim there's no
cackling,
container.
flapping, moron, dumb fuck. Yeah, so maths, in this instance, is abstract, not real. Do you understand that? He didn't acknowledge that part and then started babbling on about religion. It's abstract.
Maths is real.
Maths is abstract, not real. You're.
Warriors.
Are you done here?
Warriors
Are you done here? You're going to
struggle
talk
with
through me. He's just said maths is real. So let's shut him up by muting this dumb retard. No, I asked you to confirm you understood when I said maths was abstract about 6 times. Check him out. Even though I've server muted him, he's still talking. Yeah, because you're retarded. No, it's abstract, not real. Do you not know what abstract means? Clearly not, stupid idiot. So not a natural law, Highlander. Not something occurring in nature. Abstract, mathematical. Not real. Not natural. Not real. Excellent. Glad we cleared that up, Highlander.
Huh?
So this law of interplanetary motion I was using as a debunking by pointing out it's based on the assumption of Earth being a sphere, the assumption of Venus being a sphere of the same size, and orbits with bodies. Shut up, you fundy! I know your religion's being crapped on. It doesn't mean you've got to interrupt every single demolition. We had a nice prolonged silence from you, fundy, as your penny dropped, that you're just presupposing orbits. That doesn't mean when I summarise, we need to hear your interjections and triggered nature over the top of me, okay?
I'm not triggered, Nathan. You're the one.
And then shut up while I'm talking.
Yeah? You're the one that's forcing.
Yeah,
the-
shut up while I'm talking then, you triggered fundy. You are triggered, you're talking now while I'm still not at the end of my summary. That your religious reification is dependent on Earth being a sphere with an R value that you presuppose, Venus being a sphere with an R value that's the same as the presupposed Earth's R value, and this application of a mathematical, that's abstract, my friend, not real, law. So, no, this doesn't mean life is actually dependent on this maths, and it doesn't mean maths is real, as you've asserted, because you're stupid. No, maths is abstract. This isn't a natural law. We don't have orbits, that's your presupposition, and religious belief.
Do me one favor, Nathan, please. Can you just say?
No, I owe you nothing. I won't do you any favours. How dare you? I owe you nothing, you fundamentalist religious zealot fucktard. Why the hell would I do you a favour? You suck my balls, you fundy twat.
You get both.
Now cackle for me, bitch. Yeah, you've been humiliated with your religious belief of orbits. Now cackle for me, you little bitch. Good dog.
Comedy gold, Nathan. Brilliant.
Highlander, you said math is real?
Well,
math is reality?
Yeah, he did. He's stupid.
Right. Highlander, can you take 5 apples away from me if I've only got 2?
No.
Oh, all right. Thanks.
So math isn't real then. It's abstract.
Right. Thanks. That was pretty quick concession there. That debunks your entire statement of math is reality. Because you could do that on math, right? On paper, but you can't do that in reality, right? So thanks. Appreciate that.
Yeah. I'm here to give the guys at work a right good fucking laugh. That's all I'm here for.
That's an ad hominem attack. All you've been done is made to look stupid here. by pointing out you're begging the question fallacy of orbits, your application of a non-natural law by way of abstract mathematics. You've been made to look very stupid here, Highlander. It's taken quite a while as well, with your flapping and your interruptions and your general triggered nature.
That's coming from a guy that didn't.
It's coming from a guy. That's another ad hominem attack, isn't it? That's coming from a guy. So instantaneous ad hominem. That's coming from a guy. Yeah, you're a retard. You don't know that reification of mathematics is an abstraction that you have made concrete. You are stupid. You think maths is real. You've been humiliated here. So don't tell me about what this guy's doing when you are demonstrably stupid by your own words and your own actions. Triggered, Fundy. Yeah, cackle for me, bitch.
The guys are gonna love this. Thanks.
Yeah, the guys are gonna love me cackling like a fucking triggered Fundy. Yeah, I'm sure they will. They'll love your humiliation. You'll tell them you won. And they'll laugh at you. They'll laugh at you because you're stupid. And you won't realise that they're laughing at you because you're stupid.
They'll praise you for your inability of
understanding. You're the one that's sitting saying...
You're the one that's... So back to another ad hominem attack on me. No, you've demonstrated yourself to be stupid here by presupposing orbits and deciding that you're going to reify a mathematical construct, something abstract, into actuality. You've even declared boldly that maths is real. No, it isn't. You're a stupid idiot. So no, not let's ad hom Nathan time.
Nathan, everything I've said is just...
Wrong, stupid, idiotic, presuppositional, based on maths being real. Yeah, you're an idiot. We know.
You should be laughing at yourself, not at us.
Highlander, what makes Kepler's third law a law?
I don't know. You're asking me for it.
Thanks, the one.
You don't understand. That's very typical.
You got your laugh, Highlander. Definitely.
That's the arrogance. That's
the greatest minds in human history. So why don't you tell us? Yeah.
Sorry, you've been told by the great minds of human history. Told, so you just believed them. You're a Fundy. You get told by your priest and you believe them because they tell you that they've got a great mind when they make up a just so story. And this is the main problem. The reason people like Highlander will come here and be so thoroughly humiliated is because they've been left with the dogged assurance that they're just right. And because they just think they're right, they think they'll win any argument, only to come here and get absolutely smashed with every assertion they make, and then stutter and stammer and cackle and tell us that the lads at work will think it's funny. Oh, really? Well, that's delusion. That's all that is. Cognitive dissonance and delusion. You think you're right because you think you live on a sphere, and therefore you think it's okay to beg that question with every assertion you make, in this case orbits, and you've been smashed. But you still think you've won, and you still think it's funny and we've looked bad here. No, you're a moron.
Because another bunch of morons pat him on the back and say, yeah, you got him. Yeah. Flat Earth is a stupid one. It's like, doesn't understand he's getting pats on the back from morons.
Well, does he have a girlfriend? Let's ask her.
I'd like him to film.
I was going to ask, how old is Highlander?
Film the lads at work reacting.
Like a young boy.
Film the lads at work reacting. Get a camera, film this when it comes out. This will come out on Saturday, the 21st. Film them, watching you have your ass handed to you, and then let's see how they react. I'd like to see that. See if they're as dumb as you are.
Yeah.
Well, the guys at work.
Let's see if his girlfriend think that mass is reality too. Do you have a girlfriend?
Yeah, my girlfriend thinks she's on drugs.
Oh, really?
That's what she thinks. Yeah.
Is she a doctor?
Is she there?
Is she a doctor? Is she delusional?
Is she on drugs?
Is she delusional? Is she delusional? Is she delusional or a doctor? Has she diagnosed any of us as having drug addiction problems? Is she a counsellor? You seem to be rumpusing me because I'm embarrassing your claim about your girlfriend saying we're on drugs. So, has she had any counselling experience? Is she a doctor? Is she a pharmacist? What experience does she have to make this diagnosis? Is she just a pretender clown retard like you, pretending she knows about people's drug habits, when she's actually presumably just a blue-collar dick like you that knows nothing about drugs, medicine? Does she? What experience does she have in counselling people with drug habits?
Oh, she doesn't have any experience in that.
So she's just a pretender clown fucktard just like you. You two are the perfect match. You're both complete morons. Tell her she hasn't got the vaguest clue about anyone's drug habits, and assertions of such make her seem as stupid as you. Tell her that from me. Yeah? Oh, you think we're on drugs? Well, maybe go out and get a pharmacy degree. Maybe go out and learn about what drugs do. Maybe get some counselling experience so you can actually have some actual validity to your opinion, which is based on total ignorance. Tell her she's stupid to make such a claim. Will you tell her that from me? You're stupid,
Right.
love. That's from Nathan Oakley.
Maybe she could get in contact with Adam. I'm sure he could give her some real fine-tuned advice.
Yeah, what, a pharmacist? Yeah, I would imagine so, given that he's gone through his degree in science and now knows how to utilise drugs. His woman is just a pretender clown like him.
Yeah. They do say minds alike, stick together.
2 for 1 here, Highlander. Not only have we humiliated you, we've humiliated your woman and she's not even here.
This is Glover Bring a Girl Day.
I'm gonna guess she's not.
Yeah, good dog, good dog.
We're the delusional ones, but they currently believe that they are sticking sideways and spinning to a magical water ball in a vacuum.
Sideways. What? Where is the side? Tell me.
Water bullshit.
What
Go ahead,
part
Chocolate.
the sphere is the side? Please point that out to me.
What the hell are you talking about? What did he say?
You just said we were stuck to the side. Yeah? What side?
Yeah. You're stuck to the side of a ball, right? To the outside of a ball? Do you need me to explain that to you? Is that not your model?
I'm stuck. How am I
Where
stuck?
the fuck are you in your globe model, Highlander?
We move around. I don't seem to be stuck.
Oh, you don't. You don't seem to be stuck, but you guys believe in something that sticks you guys to a ball, along with water and gas and everything else, right?
Yeah, but we're
You
not-
seem to be slightly
but we're
confused
not
about
stuck,
this so-called model that you have.
So if you're not stuck, why aren't you blasting off in space like everyone else?
How are you on the
just
ground
because
right
you're
now,
around the
Highlander?
place.
In your
Well,
fake
in
model?
space, I'm stuck in the one position. Yeah?
I don't hear what the hell he's saying.
Well, he sounds like a drunk. That's the problem.
Yeah, I know.
I'm stuck, right? So I'm stood here and I'm stuck. Yeah. Why am I able to move if I'm stuck?
Oh, you got him. You
Because
got
there's
your
stable
chocolate.
gas pressure
you tell
in a
me.
container. That's why.
You're finished, Chocolate.
You're done for, Chocolate. He's got you.
Semantics, mate. He got you there.
Oh
didn't
yeah,
he?
he's got me. Oh, how are you
Schooled
on the
ya.
ground in your model, Highlander?
No, that's a good point.
Huh?
Based on his argument, if gravity's sticking you to the side of the ball, then you wouldn't be able to move by his logic. So the fact that we can move debunks gravity. Excellent.
Yep. Thanks.
Right, okay.
Highlander, you're a disaster,
So what
man.
did you say about my model? What did you want to know about my model?
Why
I
are you
haven't made it
breathing if
yet,
you're
but
living on that
I
model?
plan on making a mini one. I've got plenty of paper mache ready to go.
But we don't
I
want to
just
know
need
how you
buy
made
a
your
couple of
girlfriend.
balloons to put the paper mache on, you know.
Puts on the
As soon as I've
stupid
made
cap
my model,
in
I'll let you
zones where
see
he
it.
can't explain something. Puts on the genius cap when he thinks he can explain something.
I don't think I can explain anything. I'm just here for a laugh and a giggle.
Well, you do. You were going on about that law before, the Kepler law. You seem pretty adamant about that, like you knew all about it.
I
You
don't
have a
know
very
anything about
strange way
Kepler's
of
law.
amusing
I don't
yourself
know.
by having a laugh at
I just
yourself
think
as
it's
we
funny
are
that
literally
somebody
just making you look
that
like a fool.
the comedy
Why is that amusing
is
to you?
somebody that says the space isn't real quotes Kepler's law. That's comedy right there.
I
Well,
want
I
to
don't
answer
know,
you.
like,
That's what
I'd
delusional
consider it
people do.
comedy from a young teenage
Can-
boy in a sense. You sound
Wait.
like you're at least in your 50s.
Wait a second. Go ahead and state that claim one more time. I barely caught it. Can you take the bubble gum out of your mouth and then state that clearly again for us?
Come on, right? Come on. Can you tell me about this container that has to be there that's not actually there? Because that's
Wait a
that's the
second. Wait a
problem.
second. Can you state? I'm
You
just
know
at,
that.
Can't you follow simple instructions? You just made a claim about Kepler's law. You said something about Nathan was talking about Kepler's law, all the while knowing that there is no vacuum of space. Something to that effect. Could you restate that?
Yeah. He believes that space isn't real, but yet he goes on about Kepler's law.
Yeah. And you find, and what's the problem?
It's funny.
Why is it funny? Why? Why?
You brought it up. Why is that funny?
Why?
Because it is. It's funny.
Because it is. Why?
Because it's funny.
It's got to be a reason to be funny, unless you just laugh at stuff for no reason, like a village idiot. What's the reason why it's funny?
Well, I'm a village idiot because I laugh at shit all the time.
He sounds like a dumb drunk anyway. So
You need to be institutionalized.
Yeah. Let's just buy him a cognac and call it good.
No, I think he
Buying
needs
him shit.
water and some good night rest.
That won't help.
Or maybe go get laid.
No. Let's mulled wine and mince pies.
Oh, I don't like wine. I love mince pies.
That's changed the tone. For
But
the better.
anyway, Highlander, I'd like to remind you that orbits in this Kepler's law that's supposed to be about that is actually stating that objects are permanently falling in a circle, okay? Just so you don't overlook that. Yeah. Yeah, just think about how absolutely ridiculous that is.
What's
and
an
cannot
orbit?
be demonstrated in any way on a permanent basis. Never.
What's an orbit?
Chocolate, that's chewing gum's orbit.
Fundy presupposition.
Yeah.
Based on what?
It's not just moving in a circle. No, it's supposedly falling in a circle.
But how are things moving in this orbit?
If you
They're
presuppose
falling in a
Earth's a sphere, and then you presuppose Venus is the sphere the same size. Oh, I've triggered a Fundy. Pretty much the same explanation I gave before, and got lots of rumpusing from a village idiot.
Danik, where's my 2 G's?
Oh god. Oh god.
Last time I owed nothing.
Give my 2 G's.
What for? We both were right on the first point, and the second point I was. Right? I mean, you still don't know what absolute entropy is.
Give my 2 G's. I'm sending Becky after you, man.
Can you tell me what absolute entropy is?
Over. Becky! Chocolate,
Could you
go get
explain
Becky.
the gas law? Okay.
What is going on here?
Becky, she's the collector. Chocolate, go get Becky.
Oh, did he not give you that 2 G's?
Where's my collector? Where's the judge? Where's the judge and the jury on this? Because I still see it as you owe me $2 grand.
Becky!
Don't worry, we'll send the boys round.
Technically, we both were right on point A, and you were wrong on point B. So actually,
Becky!
Wow.
Why don't you tell us what absolute entropy is again, just to kind of refresh our memories?
Oh my god!
You give us your version.
I already told you what it was. We already know what it is.
Well, no.
Absolute entropy is not entropy at zero, at absolute zero, which cannot be measured, which doesn't exist. Absolute entropy is the entropy that is the change in entropy, which is basically what entropy is. Change from absolute zero to any specific temperature you want. That is absolute entropy. That was a double or nothing bet, which
So
you
it's
lost.
delta entropy. Is that what you're talking about?
Pardon me? Entropy is delta. Entropy is change. It's the change of entropy from absolute zero to whatever temperature you want. Standard entropy would be at standard atmospheric pressure and temperature. So I asked him what absolute entropy was.
Becky!
He could not
the
describe
relevance
it.
of
He
this,
couldn't stand it. So I won that part of the bet, which is double or nothing. So
Becky!
everybody listening should understand
delta
that.
entropy. What is your point?
No matter what happens in state 1, state 2, he lost. So
Choco, go get Becky, man. Come on, man.
You understand absolute entropy?
Zanuck, how do we describe the entropy of your argument that keeps losing energy?
Getting cold.
Entropy is not losing energy.
He didn't
No,
say
your
that.
argument.
He said your argument's losing energy.
Your argument's
He
not
said your
losing energy.
argument has reached maximum entropy.
No more micro options left for you, buddy.
Really? So if my argument is lost, is reached maximum entropy, what does that mean, Chocolate?
It went the same way Coriolis did, evaporated.
You know what? No, you can make jokes.
Maximum entropy
You
happened
understand
with
things you have to
Coriolis.
say.
Therefore,
Tell me-
it
tell
has
me
no
what
more
Sonic
energy.
doesn't
It's
lose
done.
energy,
Tell me about
he
absolute
just
entropy,
keeps going.
Chocolate. Tell me about what entropy is, period.
Clicked into verbal diarrhea mode. Nothing will be
What do
heard
you-
from
You've left
anybody.
your reference frame.
Yeah. Another thing.
If Dallas was in here, it would be shocking. Because then it would like align with Dallas, and they would just go back and forth.
Why don't you tell us what entropy is?
Oh, he took Nathan. He took umbrage. Zanuck took umbrage to your statement. Also, you said entropy is directionally proportional to time, and Zanuck said, "Oh, really?"
Entropy is directly proportional to time.
That's
Yeah.
what Nathan's claim was, and you said, "Oh, really?"
What kind of?
You
What
want to bet
entropy is
1,000 on that?
Really? Entropy is proportional to time.
That's right. You want to bet 1,000 on that, Nathan? You want in on this?
I think he agrees with that.
I think.
I can have zero entropy.
What?
Can you demonstrate that?
I can have zero entropy, and it's not an absolute zero. either.
Demonstration.
Oh!
This is the original claim. Sorry, did you say I can have zero entropy? So you can achieve absolute zero?
Brilliant.
No.
So you can't
Can
have
absolute
zero
Oh,
entropy?
no.
So you
Zero-
can't have
Entropy-
zero
if I have an
entropy?
adiabatic- if I have an,
It's gone
an
into verbal
adiabatic-
diarrhea mode. So I'll just close this line. So you can't have zero entropy. That's his claim. You can't reach absolute zero. Therefore, his claim is wrong. But now he's just going to talk non-stop over me. What the hell?
That just sounds ridiculous to me.
Nathan,
I don't even know.
Nathan, hold on, guys. Nathan, that's the double or nothing bet.
Yeah, I just made that clear for the audience. He talked through it all, but I had to shut down the line to make it clear that that was his original claim. He's given a summary of the claim, said no, you can't reach absolute zero, so he's lost. He's made it clear in this instance, and then just tried to talk over me saying that.
Yeah,
I don't
that
even believe
was
he
the
just said it
second part. That was
again.
the double nothing. Hold on a second. That was the double or nothing part of my bet with him.
Yep.
Yeah. So here, I'm going to put
Yeah,
it in
he just-
Master B. Can somebody read this? Holy shit.
Yeah, I think you need to get a lawyer here. He's put down so much evidence that he actually did make and lose that bet now.
It was recorded live.
Hold on.
Yeah,
Hold on.
exactly.
Guys,
Twice.
hold
And he
on.
doubled down.
And I pasted the wrong one. Hold on a second.
No worries. Can somebody in the G
I
plus?
pasted.
Can someone in the G plus bring up the Master B section that John's just posted now,
I can.
if you could?
Yeah, the first one is his first bet with you, because I think he bet $1,000 that he went against you saying that time is direct or entropy is directly proportional to time. And this is from Chem Libre Text. At this level, time clearly has a direction, and it is often noted that because the entropy of the world as a whole always increases and never decreases, it is entropy that gives time its direction. It is for this reason that entropy is sometimes referred to as time's arrow. So that's $1,000 for Nathan. Point number 2. He said that you could have absolute entropy. Is that what he said?
No entropy and not have to be at absolute zero.
Oh, that's right. He said he could have zero entropy.
Can you pop it on screen again?
This is from.
One?
Yeah.
Keep contradicting yourself, man.
Yeah, I don't even know properly what entropy, how it works, and that just doesn't even sound right to me.
All right, listen, this is for his second claim. This is the second claim he made against me, the double or nothing bet. He said you could have something at zero entropy. Okay? The third law states, the entropy of a perfect crystal is zero when the temperature of the crystal is equal to absolute zero. According to Purdue University, the crystal must be perfect or else there will be some inherent disorder. It also must be at 0 Kelvin. Otherwise, there will be thermal motion within the crystal, which leads to disorder. So, you're finished. That's $1,000 for Nathan, and then $2,000 for me. Becky!
And with that, I'll say another huge, massive, enormous thank you to both Discord and G Plus panels for making this after show possible. And of course, a massive thank you to all of you in the Nathan Oakley 1980 premiering stream for hopefully smashing the super chat, liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, and all that good stuff. Be sure to check out nathanoakley.com and the Flat Earth Debate Forum to keep up to date with the community debate. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!